Oh man, bro,
We,
that fucking Thursday game was disrespectful.
I already knew it, bro. That's how we're gonna open this episode, and but that's how I fucking knew it. The line stunk. I still said no. I'll go with the team. That's the better team in the Texans. But of fucking course, I like you can see it from a mile away. Like, why the fuck are the Jets 2-point favorites in this game? This makes no goddamn sense. Everybody's betting the Texans. Like it was the perfect hodgepodge recipe of a disaster of a game.
Let's say less, man. We live yet?
Yeah, we are in live on this motherfucker.
Let's get it.
As always, before we jump into this, go down, like, and subscribe. Comment who y'all got for the upcoming week 9 schedule. And before we get into the week 9 schedule, we're gonna have to recap Thursday night football, where we saw the Jets beat the Texans 21-13, and what was probably an ugly ass game. But there were some good highlights throughout the way. Especially, I don't know if you saw the Garrett Wilson snaggeroo. That bitch was tough.
That
But
shit was.
I'm one half Paul Pickle Winham Contra. I'm joined with.
I already know, man. It's your boy, Kev Waterboy, your boy, aka the Don PYU. And I'm coming to you live from Tennessee. I got to go to the University of Tennessee Championships weekend this week. So this is a very interesting week.
Yeah, this episode's gonna be a little different. I mean, if y'all haven't noticed, the last previous weeks, our episode speed time has gotten a little better. We're trying to make sure we get through these picks a little bit more seamlessly with y'all, and not trying to drag things around. So this episode's gonna be right in that same vein because my boy Kev is a superstar, and he got places to be.
Nah, I'm just blessed with some random opportunities.
All right, McAfee. But always, let's talk Thursday. Jets 21, Texans 13. We both were on the Texans, but we both knew this game stunk. We both knew the line made sense. We both knew Vegas was going to get their give back, but neither one of us wanted to pull the trigger and trust in Aaron Rodgers in this Jet squad for another week.
Right. I told they continuously burn us. It's either we go against them and they make us look stupid, or we go with them and they make us look stupid.
Shit, they made CJ Stroud look kind of stupid, I would say, because CJ Stroud, I mean, this game he looked a little tough. I think he's had a few games this year where I feel like CJ Stroud's looked a little. It was not his fault. His O line was not blocking for shit too. That's also going into it. Maybe the Jets defense is looking a little better. But like Joe Mixon putting up 100 yards on the ground, getting his touchdown, we knew he was going to eat. And then the Jets defense is kind of clamped up. There were still the Jets fuck ups throughout the game. The Jets having I don't know if it was Brees Hall or Allen, but when they had the rushing touchdown and they pulled the Kyle Pitts and they let that bitch go right before the line, but they actually had that pylon, they had that camera right there, and they saw that bitch, and they what turned into a touchdown, got called back, and it was a touchback, and it was just like to me, I was like, oh, there's the Jets. I know there they are. This is gonna be another one of them. But the Texans, I felt like this couldn't ever put that bitch in drive. Like Joe Mixon was able to move, but that was it.
Facts. It was like I don't even know how to explain it per se. Like, first off, that fucking play, that was his like second touch ever or something like that.
Was it? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that shit's pretty crazy. So like that's pretty embarrassing. And I'm just like, I could just see everybody putting their heads down, like, oh, we're the same old Jets. We're the same old Jets. But this team just stayed resilient. And I think the best way to explain it is that they just were able to make the Texans do what they did. Every great play they made was because Aaron Rodgers got the exact defensive look he was looking for. Like the touchdown to Devontae Adams up the seam. Like that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Like you can't fuck with that. The catch to Garrett Wilson, like that shit is phenomenal. Like and it looked like the Texans, like you said, CJ Stroud and the boys were like trying to get it going, but you could just tell they were missing something. And those somethings are Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. But they just couldn't because Joe Mixon, like he was doing his thing, like the 98-yard drive that they scored on, I think the only touchdown they scored that night was like a well balanced. Joe Mixon was doing his thing. And then the rest of the game, it just felt like the chemistry wasn't there. Like there are a lot of plays CJ Stroud and them boys were just missing each other. Like the worst one I think was after how you say his name? Fairbarn.
Oh, the kicker on Fairbairn.
Yeah, when he hits a field goal, I think it's like a 50-yarder. And I
Fifty.
remember
Yeah,
remember, Yeah, remember I have him on fantasy, so I'm like, oh, 51 yarder. Thank you, Cass. And then 2 seconds, and then they get the penalty, the unnecessary roughness on the snapper. Cool. So they start taking that bitch back. And there's a play. I want to say he ran a post route. And 90% of the time, you think CJ Stroud hits Nico Collins there. He hits Tank Dell there. He hits Stephon Diggs there. He misses it. And then they go back for the field goal and they fucking hit the upright. And that's the part that told me, I was like, oh, they just missing that
He hit
one
the
thing.
upright. Was this because he missed two field goals? He missed the 50 something yarder I was okay with, but then he was like the 20. It was on like the fucking 3
And it
yard.
was and it was in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was the one where I was just like, can't have that. Like, again, that's a you can't like that's the Greg the leg type of kick. Like, you can't have that, Kwame. I was just putting you. It was I was just telling everyone it's Young Hoku, it's fucking Brant Aubrey, and then it's probably Kwame. And then Homeboy does that. I was like, oh, never mind. You're back on the Justin Tucker allegations.
Facts. Facts.
And then I will say, looking forward down the slate, you got like the Jets 3-6, not out of it technically. They still have the Cardinal, Colts, and Seahawks coming up. All three very winnable games and very potentially be 6-6. That's what I think all Jets fans are hoping for. And on the flip side, Texans, their schedule does get a little tougher. They got the Lions, the Cowboys, but then it opens back up with like the Jags and Titans. So this is going to be, I think the AFC South is still wide open. Both of these divisions are wide open, except for the East. The Bills are going to win that. Just the playoffs pictures are still wide open.
Nice.
Then we got to get into the Sunday slate from the top to the bottom. From 1 o'clock, we're starting it off. Falcons, 3.5 point favorites, Kev, which the Dallas Cowboys rolling into town. And I this is only 3.5 points. You know how I feel about them Cowboys. You know how we feel about them Falcons, but I think I might shock you with my pick on this one, so I'll let you go first.
Nah, I've actually thought it was pretty crazy. A lot of people have been taking the fucking Cowboys, and I think that's not blasphemy. I'm just like, oh, y'all are really feeling them boys today. They think, are they coming off a bye or something? Like, what's up? Why is everybody so high on the Cowboys this week?
The the reason why I'm higher on the Cowboys is, and it doesn't really have to do with it was similar to my take on the Bengals and Eagles. I was like, I just don't think the Falcons defense, especially the pass rush, is actually gonna like Dak makes mistakes when he's rushing around, but like he also has games where he throws like 18 for 21, 350 yards and three touchdowns, no picks. So like he does have that side of him. And I just think this is like if you similar to like if you can't get to the pass rush on him, I just think Dak's gonna have a good game. It's gonna be a close game. The Cowboys defense still doesn't have Parsons. It's still Lawrence is on the IR. Like their Branch is on not playing. Like they still banged up. So definitely the Falcons could win this game, but I just think people thinking the Falcons defense is like they have a really good secondary, but that pass rush ain't gonna get there. And that's why I think the Cowboys our offense is gonna look good this game. And it really might just come down to who has the ball last. And that's why I'm just thinking the Cowboys are gonna squeak this one out on the road.
Yeah, I don't think that because of the fact that them boys cannot stop the run. And I think if there's one thing that we've done really well is teams with bad pass defense, we've let Kirk Cousins do his thing. And teams that can't hold the run, we've let Bijan and Tyler Algier hold it down. And I think if we come with that same mentality, we can make up for the defense because even though our pass rush isn't all the way there, once the Cowboys go down, they're gonna start throwing it up, and that's exactly what we want. But our secondary, Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, they all played phenomenal last week against the Bucks. So they're coming with that same energy.
Yeah. And then we got my team, the Bills, hosting the Dolphins, which are 6.5 point favorites at home. Dolphins, big dogs here. You know I'm gonna ride with the Dolphins. Tua's healthy. Waddle, Tyreek. No, Tyreek's gonna be probably fully healthy. Last game he was like banged up. This game he's probably gonna be a little bit better. I'm hoping because our run game was looking fucking good last game, and like I run game looks good. Offense typically follows suit. I'm just hoping that we can stop the defense. Our defense has to be able to stop Josh Allen. Every fucking time we play Josh Allen, he plays his best game. He third down conversions are at an all-time high. Whenever they go for it on fourth down, my butthole pucks up because I know they're probably going to convert and probably score a touchdown. Um, so we just have to limit mistakes on defense. Don't let Josh Allen beat us. That's the one thing. Just don't let him beat us. This fucking was locked down. Tua, don't make no mistakes. Don't let the ball go over your head. Play good offense. I think this will be a shootout. If at least if the Dolphins are gonna, if the Dolphins have any hope to win this game, or any hope to like carry any swagger into the next game moving forward, we gotta put up about 28-30 this game and
I
win.
respect. I respect it. I look at this game as because you guys lost last week. I do expect you guys to come out and play very aggressive. Like you guys lost, you hate this team. I just don't think I've ever seen you guys kind of walk in a Buffalo and win though. That is my thing. Like I don't think if this was in Miami, I think you guys have the shot to win this just because you guys have the fucking target on your back. Tua came back last week. He looked decent and then lost because y'all lost off of just some errors in the last minute errors. And I would expect you, Mike McDaniels and your whole offense to kind of get back together and put things together to make it happen. But it's the defense that I thought was phenomenal. Because last week I was telling everybody like, yo, but they low key got like number 1 pass defense right now.
Yeah,
And I didn't see that last week's to stop Marvin Harrison and Kyler. So because of that, I think I'm gonna take Josh Allen and the boys.
can't blame you on that one. I think we're gonna be on the same
Fuck.
Denver Broncos. Like 25-2 against rookies. I think it will be an ass whooping. The spread is 9.5 for a reason. I think people think the Broncos can keep it close. Best defense in the league, going up against the best offense in the league on paper. Both teams started off as 0-2. Here they are now, both 5-3. So like they've both been hot right now. But yeah, we're still a learning team. And I think Baltimore is blows the roof off of Denver, especially coming off a loss. They're gonna just fucking Derrick Henry 30 touches, Zay Flowers, Deontay Johnson new to the team. Like, yeah, they're gonna. I think this is a good week for the Ravens.
So I'm low key watching the live stream while we're live right now, and you're randomly cutting in and out. So if you see me start talking over you, it's because your screen paused.
Okay,
Yeah, but yeah, I'm watching it right now. For some reason, your thing is it's pausing randomly sometimes, but for the most part, if it does do that, I'll start talking over you, so it's not awkward silence.
okay,
But what game we're talking? Broncos, Ravens.
Ravens, yes sir.
I mean, yeah, I'm expecting the Ravens coming off with L. I think a lot of people think that yeah, people are sleeping on the Ravens right now. I think they're thinking that this defense can kind of come in and fuck shit up, but people are forgetting that the Ravens have a defense that's about to kill Bo Nix. Like Bo Nix is not going to be able to look comfortable in this defense. And are they playing in Baltimore or in Denver?
It's in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna take them with the home field advantage. I definitely got to take the Ravens.
Yeah, and I don't know if it broke out earlier, but I did say that like Harbaugh Lamar versus rookie quarterbacks is the one of the best trends in the NFL. Just they dominate.
It's a cat, just cash it.
Then we have the Browns coming off their win, taking on the Chargers coming into town. It's in Cleveland. Chargers are 1.5 point favorites. Cleveland meaning they're a 1.5 point home dog right now. We got Nick Chubb, Jameis Winston, the makeshift crew of wide receivers they got out there right now. How are we feeling about this game? This one's going to be one of the more interesting games of the weekend.
Nah, this is when Kevin Stefanski makes his bid for coach of the year. Like I feel like this is what happens every year. He goes He has Deshaun Watson. They play fucking terrible. Everybody thinks the team sucks. Deshaun Watson stops playing. Now they come in with some veteran, old veteran, and then he starts getting them dubs and sneaks them into the playoffs type shit. So this is very interesting. I can see why the Browns are the favorites in this game because you have Nick Chubb back. You have the
So
defensive. Huh?
Chargers are favored in this game
Really? Wait, did the line change?
on the road. I mean, it's not
Really?
crazy favorites. It's just
Oh, it's
a
one
1.5.
1.5. Okay, yeah. I was about to say, damn. But yeah, I think this is a hard game to pick. I'm not gonna lie to you because I want to blame it on the Jameis. He had his magic. Good for him. He had his one game. Maybe he'll have another one or two, but I don't like him back to back. But I just don't. We just don't know what the fuck this Chargers team is. Like this entire season, we've been calling them. Just like I don't know if they're good, they're bad, they're mid, they have potential, they're working, they're cooking. I don't know what the fuck this team is.
I see. I think it is gonna be a tough game to pick. Chargers on the road. I typically like to take the Chargers on the road, but last year when the Browns let Flacco take over and they just rattled off win after win after win, like I got to the point. I told you, who's playing at quarterback this week? Not Watson. It's Flacco. Give me the fucking Browns, and that I kind of want to keep that trend going this year. So it's not gonna be Watson. It's gonna be Winston. Winston, who just threw 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, made Cedric Tillman look like a wide receiver one out there. I honestly think they're a little bit better than because they had everyone on paper that was good, and like now you just have a quarterback that can turn the offense on. Yeah, it's a little late in the season, so people are still down on them. But did y'all not see how much better of a team they looked like last week? And the defense is still Myles Garrett and them boys. Like, yeah, I kind of think I like the Browns here as a dog. And the difference without Watson, they just kind of have that fight in them. Like they play way harder. Like Winston just gets them boys going.
Yeah, I was say Jameis Winston is definitely he's definitely a great motivator. Like I just can imagine him earlier in the week talking about so I gotta figure out a way to get them guys going today. And the next thing you know, he pulls up with the briefcase talking about stuff. I got the only thing that could beat us in here. I got the only thing that
Yeah.
I got it right here handcuffed. Yeah. So I think this is a game where James Winston motivates them boys. And even if they lose, I don't think I'm gonna be too mad because like I'm just like it's the Browns.
And I also oh no, I just keep it moving. I can't remember what to say, but we keep it moving. This is gonna be an ugly game. NFC South Panthers 7.5 point dogs at home with the Saints coming into town.
7.5 dogs is crazy.
Yeah, but it is the Bryce Young show still. Carr is returning. That's why the spread I think is as big as it is. If it was Rattler still playing, it's probably a 3 point spread. But they got Carr back. Um, they're hoping they can go back to what the first 2 weeks looked like, where they were putting up 40 points. And that's a tough. It hasn't seen that about damn near 6 weeks. So can the Panthers spoil Derek Carr's return and just one of the because they're gonna find a way to win maybe two games in this year. So like they gotta have somewhere on the tape where they find a second win. I don't know if this is it. Maybe they don't get a second win. But this is this divisional game. It's ugly. Both offenses struggling.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be gross. I'm taking the Saints for sure, just because their defense is a lot better. The Panthers, I think could be a team with a shitty O line, a shitty quarterback, and a shitty play caller. But what kills me about the Panthers is that they also have a shitty defense. Like you can't be shitty all over the place.
Yeah, that defense being bad. I can maybe hope Bryce Young looks a little good and like scores a couple, but then it's like they're not stopping nobody on defense. They also trade away Deontay Johnson. They're kind of like selling everybody. Everyone's making fun of the owner too. Like it's bad over there. I think the safe pick is to take the Saints with you. I would like to see the fucking some crazy shit happen. I wouldn't be mad if this is a game that the Panthers win, but to be safe, I got to take the Saints.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'd be shocked if the Panthers win this game, but we'll see.
Then we got the Bengals 3-6, itching and itching more and more that their season's over. Taking on the Raiders at 2-6. And a little known fact, apparently Joe Burrow is too cool for Halloween. I don't know if you know about that.
I thought he did the Macaulay Culkin thing.
He did, but then all of a sudden this year he's at a press conference and he's saying, I don't know why people dress up. Like, for what? What are you doing it for? Yeah, it's just so like what, y'all just want to dress up to be somebody else that day? I don't know. I just never got into it. It was never my thing. And it's just like, okay, Mr. Too Cool, Mr. Your fucking tips are frosted right now, but okay, let's keep talking about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just harder. I'm like, all right, Mr. I don't know. It's like, oh, this guy's too cool for everything, I guess.
No, that's funny because me growing up Haitian and like never celebrating Halloween, um, I would understand that. Like I'd understand that because I'd be like, what's the point type shit. But it's fun. Like literally, that's just the simple FUN, like 3 letters. It's fun. Like you can't hate on Halloween. Like that's kind of tragic.
I know
So
Winston probably had the locker room like, what are y'all dressing up as? And Winston probably had like the best fucking costume ever. That's a leader.
nah, you know who be killing the game every Halloween? Miles Garrett. I think he came in. What did Miles Garrett come in as Halloween to this year? He came in as the Terminator this year. Yeah, Miles Garrett came in as a Terminator. So yeah, like I don't know. I think it's fun. But for the game, I think the Bengals. I want to. This is obviously a must win for the Bengals. You kind of can't afford losing another game. That's pretty crazy. But for the most part about it, who are the Raiders? Like the Raiders, they don't have much firepower over there. If you can't hold down the Raiders at home, y'all might as well pack up the whole season.
This is the final game I think that they have because if they go to 3-6 after this and a loss to the Raiders, this is one of the final games on the slate where you can be like, yeah, this is a very winnable game. I know it's NFL and it's hard to win any game, but like you don't get many 7 point spreads after this.
Facts, facts. So yeah, don't fuck this up.
So I think we're both taking the Bengals here,
Respectfully.
respectfully. Uh, I might switch that. I'm gonna keep that one circled as a potential because I really don't think the Bengals defense can stop anything right now. And the Raiders almost did it to Mahomes. Like the Raiders did like they showed they still had some spark left.
No, they come ready to play games they're not supposed to win. Because you can't forget that this team beat the Ravens like week 3.
That's yeah. So we gotta keep it pushing. Giants 4 point dogs at home with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders coming to town. It is this is gonna be a battle. All right. I know how bad we want to say fucking take the fucking commies here. I don't have the number in front of me, but this is the same number I've read for the past 3 years of this podcast. Daniel Jones is like 2 and fucking 30 against the rest of the NFL. But when he's against the Commanders, I believe he's like 5-1 or 7-1 in his career because he's played them either 8 or 6 times. And so he dominates, right? I know this is not the same. This was different iterations of the, but every time, every season, except for the 1 year where the Giants went to the playoffs, the Giants absolutely stunk. And it was like, yeah, they're always like, there's no reason to beat the Commanders. Like there was like, yeah, it's Heineke and McLaurin and Ron Rivera, not a good team, but like they were still a better team on paper. But for whatever reason, Daniel Jones would come in and play his best game twice a year against commies and beat them. He owns the Commanders. It's kind of crazy. So that's my own little nugget before we make this pick.
Yeah, I appreciate you dropping that gem. Like you feel me? And that's exactly what pisses us off every year. This one game where Daniel Jones turns into Danny Wheels. He starts hitting dimes. And then this is the year he has a weapon like in Malik Neighbors. Like this is the setup for Daniel Jones to get a random dub, piss everybody off. And I feel like if they were to beat the Commanders this week, that'll have some playoff implications later. Like that might mess up like when it's like the Eagles versus the Commanders trying to figure out who's number 1. We could do that. And I really would take the Giants just on some, nah, bro, experience has taught me this. But after taking the Bears last week and seeing this team fight balls to the wall with Jaden Daniels' rib injury, I gotta take the Commies because this team literally fought their asses off. They probably should have lost that game. That Hail Mary doesn't go to do Tyreek Stevenson if he fucking plays the Hail Mary like he's supposed to and doesn't bat that bitch up and pass it back to the dude in the end zone. Maybe they get an L this week, they get an L that week, but they stole the W. And now I'm expecting the kind of come in here, lock in, don't play that hard a fought game. But the only thing I'm worried about is somebody like Dexter Lawrence being a problem and just cause wreaking havoc in the trenches.
I think Dexter Lawrence and the D line. I feel like when I do pick him, it's right after the D line looks good, and they did look good last week against the Steelers, even though they lost. Malik Neighbors had a lot of drops. Daniel Jones actually made a lot of good plays. I felt like his players around him were failing him, like making the drop on a big down. He makes a big play, and then all of a sudden a flag is thrown on a legal shift or illegal man downfield, and it was like every fucking time. The run game was looking good with the rookie Tracy Singletary was filling in here and there. Uh, I'm gonna go with the Giants because Daniel Jones plays his best game. We got to think back. I think it was week 2 where they played each other, and if the Giants had a kicker that didn't get hurt in that game, they probably win this game. And
Facts.
my final take of it is, I know it wasn't a dumping of a Gatorade, but did you see how hyped everybody was? It was a fucking Hail Mary. I know you get hyped, but like Daniel Jones was like a kid in the not the Dan Dan Quinn taking the headset off, celebrating as if he's a fucking a football player on the field still, fucking, and the way everybody was hyped and like. I know nobody went to sleep that night. I know everybody went out that night. I know, it's just, this has been a long time coming back down to earth. And they're probably like, oh, it's just a giant, just a giant. And then that's just that MetLife field is gonna get the that turf and all that.
I can see that. I just think the Giants haven't started peaking yet. And I'm not the Giants, the Commanders, they haven't peaked yet. I think they're only they're getting better throughout the season. And like that's what you want. You want to play your best football in the cold November, December type shit.
And sometimes when you want to play your best football in December, you gotta get that. You gotta take that L in the middle of the year to be like wake up call game. And this could be that for.
That's real. I just don't see no quitting them boys.
Then we got this is the ugly game here. We got the Titans, 3.5 point favorites. Take it on the Patriots. Patriots are going. I believe with Jacoby Brissett is the starter of this game.
No, I think Drake May is in concussion protocol, but he's expected to play.
Oh, he's making it out of the protocol. Okay, I knew he was in concussion protocol. I know they be fucking lingering people in there. So okay, Drake May probably making the start. Titans 3.5 point favorites. I mean, here we are.
Who did they play the other week when they got the win with Jacoby Brissett?
The Jets.
Oh
With
yeah,
Drake May, it was a half and half. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I respect it. I respect this line. Vegas definitely knows something that we don't. And they want us to put the money on the Titans. And I really, really, really want to pick the Titans because I don't think I picked the Titans once this year. I just don't see myself doing that, especially since this Patriots team, after being called soft, they played so much better. And even when their quarterback got hurt and they went back to the dude that wasn't playing well this season, they were able to bring that bitch all the way down and bring that bitch all the way down and score to tie it up. So that's the team I'm trusting because I think they're kind of figuring things out and they're meshing well. And like Bill Belichick said, this team was the best against the run last year. So like they still have a lot of those same players. So I think when this team is locked in and the chemistry is up, they're pretty hard to fuck with.
See that I do agree with those points. Titans defense is also like you hit the points for the Patriots defense, but the Titans defense has also been like quite they're easily the best unit on the field for this team.
Oh,
But
facts.
they are like defensive line is like check the metrics, it's up there for like top 10 defensive line. And that's where I think you need to be able to play to beat the Patriots because they're Drake May kind of when he doesn't have things open downfield, like he tries to lean on his legs like rookies do. But if you're in the trenches, disrupting him, making it hard for him, I think this could be a game probably where Brissett would be the better option because he's seen this before. He knows how to beat this. He knows he only needs 13 points to beat the Titans. But his May might try to make it he might pull Will Levis and try to make every down his last down. And Mason Rudolph quietly put up about 270 last week. I know they got
Yeah.
absolutely throttled by the Lions, but it was like fumbles on good drives was what killed them. Like those solid drives to the 50, then fumble. And then Tony Pollard is quietly kind of waking up. Tyjae Spears is healthier for the second running back. Calvin Ridley had a game last week, and no one was talking about that. I think he had like 9 catches for like 130 yards or something like that. Like the offense didn't look bad. It was just the Lions absolutely throttled them and then just ran the score up at the end. The Lions, well, they didn't do it in the fourth quarter, but just like
Yeah, I gotta say.
yeah, 21 points in third quarter made it look really bad after. But I was gonna split with you. I think I'm at the Titans at the home here. I think there'll be a lot of people betting on the Patriots. I don't know what the splits are in the
I
bets.
think the public is 57% Titans.
Okay, so that's nothing too crazy. So it is kind of down the middle. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Titans here. We're split back to back, going into the 4 o'clock games. Cardinals coming off their win, 2-point favorites at home, taking on the Chicago Bears, coming off of their loss to the Commanders, where the Hail Mary ended the game. How are we feeling here? We got the Cardinals at home. We got 2 number 1 overall picks taking on each other.
Let you go first, man. Tell me about this Cardinals defense.
Honestly, I don't know what I want to write off the Cardinals defense because like I just saw the Dolphins walk up and down the field against them. I saw the Chargers do the same thing, just they only settle for field goals. But I can't hate on them because they are like I think they're one of the worst defense in the leagues, but they just won back-to-back games. I picked against them back-to-back weeks because I said their defense is absolutely bad, one of the worst units. And then they held the Chargers to 15, but it was straight field goals. I think the defense is going to show back to their true selves. If the Cardinals were a home dog here, I think I would like them. But I feel like because they won their last couple games, people kind of back on the Cardinal train. And that's not when I like to pick the Cardinals, especially this. I like to pick the Cardinals as the sneaky team, as the, oh, yeah, they're going to be feisty this team. Not when they're 2-point favorites going up against a really good defense in the Chicago Bears. Bears' defense will show up. I don't think Kyler throws for 300 this game. And then and then DeAndre Swift has been fucking scoring every week. Caleb Williams is turning on the offense over there. Like Bears are quietly becoming a not very good team, but you know what to expect every week. Like really good defense and a potential of 21 to 30 points out of the offense.
Yeah, for sure. I believe that the Cardinals are a scrappy team. I'm pretty sure all their games have been, even the games they lost, they probably played like 1 or 2 games this season that's been more than 1 possession. So they've been that scrappy team. We saw it the first week against the Bills, thinking like, yo. And they kind of just kept that energy up. I respect them for having 2 really good games last few weeks. Marvin Harrison and Kyler, they just had that shit. They had that shit figured out last week. And shit is cool, but I don't think the Bears defense is a team that you can go video game style on. Like, this is a really good defense. We saw that they literally was supposed to win last week. Motherfucking Tyreek.
We're supposed to be talking about Caleb Williams third walk-off drive type shit. Like they did that, but we're not.
One stupid motherfucker changed the whole course of shit. So like, I'm gonna take the Bears. I think the Bears, they have the firepower and they have all the weapons necessary to keep a lead on offense, and then they have the defense to hold them. And then that's the reason why I think the Cardinals have been winning, because most of the teams they beat, they've been able to get that lead back at the last second.
Yeah, and I will say this is for me at least. Out of all the dogs I've chosen, this is the one I probably feel like this one feels really good.
Yeah.
Then we got the Eagles, 7.5-point favorites against the Jaguars. Jaguars, yeah, they played a really close game against the Packers, but they also lost Brian Thomas and Christian Kirk. So they're going to be without wide receiver 1 and 2. And if you have Evan Ingram as a tight end, like you must start for this game. The Eagles looking good last week, turning back to like the Eagles from a couple of years ago. defense has quietly been playing really good. Now they're starting to get some recognition. I don't know. Usually I'm the Jaguars homer on this podcast, so if I'm not picking them, I just don't know if I don't know if anyone out there would be picking the Jaguars this week.
You know how I love them Jags, but hold on, let me see. Yeah, Derek Christian Kirk is out with a collarbone, but
Yeah, he's out for the year. He's done.
Tate Bigsby ankle limited participation, Gabe Davis shoulder limited, Travis Etienne limited, Brian Thomas Jr. limited. Uh, it's kind of half and half. He might play, but he probably not going to get crazy targets like that.
Okay,
But
that's better than what I thought. I thought somewhere they said he's gonna be gone for at least 2 weeks. So if he's already back on the questionable, that's a good sign.
yeah, because I have him on fantasy, and I don't know if I'm gonna start him or not yet. But I would say, yeah, I would probably if he does or doesn't play, I don't think that changes my pick. But yeah, I'm expecting this Eagles team to come in and get the W because this Eagles team still needs to be this Eagles team is expecting to make a playoff run, and if not, you're gonna start hearing the fuck near Nick Sirianni chants again in Philly.
Yeah, it's gonna get very hot again.
Very, very hot. So I'm expecting the Eagles to come through. I haven't really done big research on Jalen Hurts these last couple of weeks, but last week he was able to get in the end zone a few times, and I'm just expecting this offense to be rolling.
Yeah, Saquon's having a hell of a year under the Eagles banner too. So like their offense is very potent right now.
And that was such a finesse having them as a dog last week.
Then we got some of the more tighter matchups. The Packers are 3-point dogs at home with the Lions, Kev. So the Lions 3-point favorites on the road here. I'm gonna just take the wheel here. I'm gonna say, even though I love the Lions, think they've been acting like they shit don't stink, like putting up 50 points, this and that. Eventually something's gonna come back down to earth. And I know Jordan Love likes to throw them iffies, but I'm gonna believe in that boy Jordan Love and the power of the Brett Favre cannon arm, and that they stand tall here. Division rival, 3-point dog at home. Both really good teams. So can't really go wrong with either pick. So I think as the home dog, I'm gonna take the Packers here.
Wow, I'm glad you took that. Packers list quarterback Jordan Love, Jair Alexander questionable. They probably should play. They're questionable though. But this Lions team has been rolling. This Lions team is a team, and they've been balling without Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, they have.
So yeah.
Get some win streaks going against each other too. I think it's 5 or 6 wins in a row versus 4.
Yeah, I mean, you call them iffy balls, but like Jordan Love leads the league in interceptions. Like he's turning into the new Josh Allen. He
No,
leads the league. He leads the league in it. But the thing is, Jits missed like 2 games.
no, I know, but it's also then he comes right and he'll shrug that bitch off and go right back and throw for a
Yeah,
perfect drive.
yeah, because he'll throw 3 interceptions. He's not tripping, but he'll throw for 4 touchdowns too. Like you just don't know what you don't know type shit. So I respect this Packers offense and everything, but this Lions team, you gotta show me you could beat them. Like I can't just sit there and be like, yeah, man, the Lions that somebody's gonna eventually bust their ass because I don't think this is them.
This is a game. I mean, not bad games for the primetime game, but this would have been a good flex in for a primetime game.
That would have been fun. The primetime games aren't terrible this week, so I'm not tripping. But
Yeah, not
that would have
bad.
been. But yeah, I got the Lions for sure.
And then we got the Seahawks home dog in Seattle. Well, from what I've heard, they ain't got no home fans no more. But
I
one
heard
and
this.
point dogs at home with the Rams coming to town. Cooper Cup and Puka are activated. Rams, after a long week of rest, they played Thursday night. They got the dub. They're looking healthier. And in Seattle, DK still going to be out this week, but it's going to be a divisional game. This is actually low key. This could potentially be the number 1 seed at the end of this week, depending on like whatever happens.
Everybody in this division has 4 losses.
Yeah, like Cardinals 4-4, I think 49ers are on a bye this week, so we can't talk them. But then we got these two, 3-4 and 4-4.
It's a three-way tie for first. Cardinals, 49ers, Seahawks, 4-4, and the Rams are 3-4. And don't forget the Rams literally didn't have a team for the couple weeks.
And the Rams beat the
49ers.
49ers. So if they win this game, they'll be 4-4 with 49ers, but they'll be above them in the division. I don't know how actually be different people beating whoever, so I don't know how that actually would work out.
Yeah, I think the Rams, they beat the oh damn, they got their ass beat by the Cardinals 41-10.
Yeah.
Who else did the Rams beat? They beat the 49ers. They played a close game with the Lions. Oh, but yeah, I think this game is gonna be close just because of how it goes. I've been really high on Gino and the boys the last couple of weeks, but last week they kind of let me down. So I'm gonna trust this Rams defense, this Rams team that looked like the Sean McVay coached offense last week. So I'm expecting them to continue picking up steam, knowing that the division is anybody's right now, to continue picking up the steam and get the dub here.
I'm going on the other side. I got the Seahawks only because when I realized you pick against Geno when the team can create a pass rush, but you pick Geno whenever there is no pass rush. And I don't think the Lions are going to be able to get to him. I think it's going to be a shootout. I like the over the most in this game, but if I had to take a team, I'm going to take the home team here. That I think Geno's going to be able to look really good, 300 yards, and even without DK, I think they'll get the offense going.
Oh no, DK! Oh, I definitely got the Rams.
Then we got the Colts going to Minnesota. Not that far of a drive, really. Vikings are 5.5-point favorites at home. Colts are starting Joe Flacco for the rest of the season for what it looks like for right now. So they got Flacco. The offense should be looking good. Jonathan Taylor was running amok last week. They're 5.5-point dogs on the road. And Vikings coming off a loss. And they did they come? Yeah, did they lose last week? I do know that they lost their left tackle. Yeah, they lost to the Rams 30-20, and they lost their left tackle for the season, which is a big blow. How are we feeling about this game?
I mean, I love Joe Flacco playing for the Cardinals, not the Cardinals, for the Colts. But this is a Brian Flores coach defense. Like, there's gonna be a lot of different looks. So he's not. I don't like him to be able to just throw that bitch up like he's been doing against like these other teams like the Jaguars and shit. But so I gotta take the Vikings. Yeah, I gotta take the Vikings on this one. I do expect this to be a close game, like an 18-21 type vibe.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'm riding the Vikings too. Like you said, Brian Flores' defense is kind of just going crazy. Without the left tackle, we'll see. The Sam Darnold's gonna probably look a little shaky. Offense is gonna look a little shakier this game. But like Joe Flacco against, I love you, Flacco, but that defense is gonna be fucking swarming.
Hell yeah.
Then for final game, Monday Night Football, we had the Kansas City Chiefs looking to continue the undefeated streak at home with the Bucks rolling into town. Bucks coming off the loss last week. Offense didn't look too bad though. I mean, Baker without his number one and number two still put up 300. Still have a few, but he did throw a couple interceptions as well.
In
Chiefs,
the red zone.
Chiefs still yet to play their best ball. Everyone keeps saying, but they're finding ways to win. Travis Kelce looked good last week. How are we feeling? And it's in Kansas City.
I really feel like the Chiefs are playing their best ball. I just think their best ball is very shaky. Like, because I feel like their game plans that they had like 3 weeks ago are obsolete because of different reasons. So I genuinely think the way that they've been adapting to continue this win streak is powerful. We've been screaming like the last 3 or 4 weeks that there's gonna be a team to come in and upset them, come in and beat them. This is just another week, but this isn't that team.
It's not them. I kind of I can see the matchup pretty well just because if you could stop the run, but Mahomes hasn't looked like all pro Mahomes this year, and if Baker just has a 300, like if Baker just keeps slinging that fucker, like he don't give a fuck, and the offense puts up 30, this could be a very interesting game. I don't think they win by 8.5 points, but I might have to take the Chiefs to still win, but I would not take that 8.5. That's a big spread.
Yeah.
But of course, before we head out, boys, we made it from the top to the bottom. We got to give out our locks and our dogs. We're kind of split all over the place here. So I'm kind of, the spreads are also very big on some of these games. So if you don't have multiple locks, it's okay to throw two dogs in there because that might be what I have to do right now. But
Yeah,
how are you doing, Kev?
I like the Patriots versus the Titans. I like the Patriots as a dog for sure. I kind of like the Browns as a dog.
I do too. Like I wouldn't be mad if we take like a couple dogs
I
because I
might
have
pick,
a shit
I
on
might
them.
pick, I might pick three dogs, man. I might go. Oh no, I guess I'll lock up the Lions.
Okay,
Uh,
that's a good lock. Even though I
I'll
still
lock
hate
up.
it.
I'll lock up the Bears, and
Okay, I got them as one of my dogs.
I'll dog up the Patriots.
Well, the Bears are dogs too, so you got that's two dogs.
Double dog dare you.
So I got the Bears also. I had them written down ever since we made that pick on the pod. So and I to follow suit, I'm gonna take the Seahawks as a double dog. Not the biggest dogs, but something it's not the size that counts. Then we got then we got a fuck it. I might. Oh, damn, did I really not pick that many favorites? I mean, I could go Vikings and just kind of close my eyes and kick back, but no, I'm gonna have fun with it. To end the show, I'm gonna go with the Giants, Daniel Jones, and them to find a way to fuck up Havoc, and this will be the parlay buster. Everyone's gonna be saying y'all couldn't beat the fucking Giants,
Literally, Vegas gonna get their bread back. They've been waiting.
but as always, we appreciate y'all watching. It's been a fun ass episode. Broke down NFL Week 9. We'll be back for the recap. We'll be back to talk everything next week as well. And stay tuned for the UFC, boxing, and everything else. We got some major news to announce for everything going on that side. But as always, go down, like, subscribe, comment what you got this week. Any bets, any picks, we want to hear them. I'm Paul Pickawin, Kev, Waterboy Savoy. And if y'all didn't know,